the sequel to Idubbz's Comedians on Scooters Get Crunchwrap Supremes. It's two assholes eat taco time and make snide remarks between eating, and the video stays raw, and I put no effort into it.
Yeah. Okay, I guess it's just Idubbz thing, just because he still exists. Okay.
I'm just like, well, Idubbz, I'll steal your stupid shit because it's not actually even a concept, so.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it had already been done somewhere in the Southlands.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
So anyways, the first thing I want to get into the nitty gritty is, like, when Max Mofo was all summoning him to his fuck dungeon over there in Australia, did they, like, actually, like, give in to his demands, or, like, did they tell him to go fuck himself, and to what degree? You know, I really want an in-depth
Did they give into
video interview on this.
Did they give into his dirty lusts?
Yeah, right? His lust could not be satiated nor quenched.
There's that gif of Max Mofo being, like, sucking on the tennis racket through Idubbz. Is like, that's pretty gay.
Yeah.
Maybe they got a little fuck action on, you know? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Maybe in shame, Idubbz and Filthy Frankaroo had to retreat and hide for a year. And so, of course, there's blocking anything from Filthy Frankaroo's even alive. But Idubbz is closer, so he gets through. It's totally the shame, dog, totally.
Totally the shame.
This burrito is unusually tasty.
I quite concur.
And like when Idubbz was hanging out in Las Vegas.
What was with me only seeing, maybe other people saw more, but one video where Post Malone was suddenly there and then nothing else.
Yeah, right? Shouldn't he have been like interviewing celebrities the whole time? Like, where's all those?
And then he didn't post anything forever after that. It makes me think that, like, Post Malone, like, ripped his throat out and he had to be, like, summoned back from the grave. I don't even know, man. The way, like, the video was even spooky. I don't even know.
Well, yeah. Like, how difficult, like, is it to move from Las Vegas to back to Southern California when there's, like, earthquakes every 5.2 seconds? That's annoying. Like, think about it. You're driving on the road, it's, like, shaking around.
It's like playing Mario Party.
Yeah.
But not a fun Mario Party.
Mario Party Real Geography Edition. That's gotta be pretty fun. You know, he's really getting in touch with that wildlife. I think we need a series of videos on him and animal husbandry.
Huh. Husbandry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Idubbz is real obsessed with those squirrels and they're nuts, you know?
True. How many people do you think, if like a sexy looking coyote walked up with a big dick hanging out, would just go right at it, you know?
Oh, you know, any of my sisters.
Yeah.
If they saw a coyote with a big old, like, veiny dog cock, they'd be like, gimme! And then the next second, they're like, you fuck your golden retriever. Disgusting.
Pretty much. Like, that's a good question. Like, how many people will have to retreat from the wild when the wild wants to, you know, get some action?
Right? What if it doesn't want to eat you? It wants to fuck you. Dun dun dun.
It's a real concern, man. Idubbz pretty soon he's gonna have a colony of werewolves in his ass.
Werewolves, yeah. Not like honey badgers or possums. So is this a good Is this a good episode of whatever this is?
Oh yeah. So like the tier list of like people on YouTube, like I guess when it comes to like being unoriginally original, he's on the top. It's got that tier list beat.
I guess not.
And he might have the most bulgy forehead.
He might actually win that award.
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't have any room to talk, and none of my features bulge except downstairs, so that's not good. This is more like a comedy roast.
There's not really much to roast, though. Such a skinny boy.
Yeah, even hell spat him back at. God damn. You know, it would actually be funny if one of those boxes was rigged somehow to like explode and like blow him across the room.
Yeah.
It would be pretty funny. He would leave it
I mean, he wouldn't be happy. He probably wouldn't want to open any more boxes, but he'd leave it in.
in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, he always says he's not going to open more random boxes, but he always does.
Yep. Pretty soon he might be able to get one of those 3D scanners though that are everywhere and just see what's in there sometimes. So yeah, gotta really disguise that exploding, expanding whoopee cushion.
He's like, you fuckers, don't let them put in whoopee cushions full of dust.
Yeah, that's just annoying, not dust. Gotta be something funny.
Like tiny little paper mache cutouts of dicks that sparkle across the room.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh, my baby boy.
You know, I think what we need to do is we need to start like a funny camp where we take all the people who everybody thought were like, you know, entertainers, and then line them all up and, you know, make them run while telling jokes and shit, get them in shape, just come up with all different kind of psychological crap, you know, and it can just be a TV show, and then they can actually be funny at the same time eventually, and then
Yeah, you just gotta beat the funny into him.
exactly, it worked for me. Then at the very least they can contort themselves around the stage. That would be pretty awesome, right? To have all the entertainers in the world disappear mysteriously, because there aren't any, but let's say there were. And then they all resurface a year later, like automatons of hilarity, trained epically. Like, what is...
Classically trained.
Yes, the classic way. Pretty hilarious stuff. I mean, I don't know, even the Joker's like, man, he can't keep up that level. Like, he just kidnaps people for like a day because he's too insane to feed them right. Do you think Idubbz would be in on, you know, tricking people into a deserted island? You know, he'd be like, hey, we're gonna like make a video, and then he just tells each person they all fly in, and then he's all like, hi, I tricked you into a comedian fat camp. That's what I'm thinking.
Is this like the Ashton Kutcher new Punked, but better?
Yeah, right?
Where he's like, ha ha, faggot, I'm not on the island because I'll die of cancer if I don't eat too often. Oh, kind of like me. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I'm so tough, but if he doesn't, like, because he can't eat too much at once, like me.
No.
And so if he doesn't eat all the time, he's dead. Just saying.
As opposed to just not eating all the time and then feeling like you're dead, like me. Well, let's see here. What other stuff has he done to make fun of? Well, he has a mustache and I have a mustache. We should probably make our mustaches touch at some point. I think he'd be real manly.
Oh God, that sounds kind of gay. Not really appealing way either, because he's got like that. I wouldn't say he is. It just looks like it. You know, just the mustache, not his face. He's got like the child predator, you know, like snatch your kids, like type of guy, like mustache.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing else.
You're right. And I've got like a Spanish Inquisition mustache. So
Yeah, so you burst.
those races don't mix.
Yeah, you burst into the room and you're like, "What you been doing here?" You know, you've been behaving. You've been giving the dick.
Well,
Have you heard the good news about the Lord's dick? It's quite golden.
yeah. Yeah, what if Jesus shows up and he's just after the babes?
Yeah, what if, Red? What if?
What if Jesus number 39 actually just wants
The puss. He comes back, he's just like, listen, guys, I've discovered the good word. You gotta fucking do the reps to get the babes. What if frat bros were right the whole time? That's the meaning of life, is you gotta do reps for Jesus so that you can get the bitches on your dick.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is. That's all the meaning there ever will be. Same with the ladies. You gotta do the reps so that you can get big dicks.
Yeah. Yeah, what would the first video be we'd make with Idubbz? Collaboration partnership.
Comedians in the middle of nowhere jump off of areas of canal onto sandbars.
Oh boy, yeah, wow. I mean, why did my mind get drawn to that too, of all the things? Like, what? Does Idubbz want to jump off of something high and land on something supposedly soft, but only if you have bones made out of similar materials?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
He's, right? Nobody wants to. You don't feel like doing anything on camera. I know the way it is. If nobody's going to do it with you, because then you just feel like a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be clear, everyone is anyways, but you know how it is. And so he's like, well, I don't have like an excuse to just have somebody point a camera at me and jump off of something. Because if I do that, I feel like there at least has to be somebody else there so that way, it's like camaraderie. Like if, they at least semi-hurt themselves because it's too stupid, then, I won't be alone and hurting myself or something. I don't know. He's just an idiot.
Yes, we need to stop hurting ourselves.
Alone. That's how stupid he is. I swear, that's how Filthy Frank probably was too, judging by how they do stupider things that hurt themselves more when there are more of them around. Like anybody. The more people they get around, the stupider things they did. Like being in Max Mofo's backyard and just slashing open their feet on accident and all this stupid shit they had thrown around on that blue tarp.
Yeah. The fact that those three guys for a certain year on YouTube were like the trifecta of like the future, that's a little interesting. It's a little spooky.
It's a little disturbing because they're kind of really, really stupid. And everybody acts like as if somehow I'm like as stupid as Joe G. Berry's.
Yeah.
But no, he's an idiot. Dude, he fucking smoked cigarettes.
Can't get stupider. And the thing is, like, I don't know how other people make music, because, like, I'm just like, okay, my brain doesn't hurt very bad right now. I guess I'll just like think of a theme, and then like, start metronoming it or whatever. But like, Filthy Frank, that's not what he was doing. I don't know how these people do it.
I don't know. I'd like to actually like grab a hold of their brain and be like, and like somehow determine like what are they on? Like, is it just mushrooms and are they just decaying super fast and they just use
That's
it?
probably what it is. You gotta get the right mushrooms, man.
I don't have them. I want Laughing Jims. I can't even get those. I want those California Redwood ones.
Also, what I think is interesting is how, society trains all of the comedians to avoid certain topics. Like, they'll actually get brain damage because, there's all this pressure, there's all these certain things in the foods, and then it's just like, there's just these slivers of, like, concepts in their head stuck a certain way. And so inevitably, once that goes away, everyone's just all like, wow, I can suddenly talk about that topic again as though it could be funny. And they don't even realize it's not there. And that's what upsets me. I'm just all like, come on now.
Come on now, sonny.
Yeah, and so with people like Idubbz, of course they got suckered into that, and so they're just on the long journey to even be able to mentally combobulate personally again without other assistance.
Right, because whatever the fuck he's saying is usually like off topic actually these days, and then he like somehow cuts enough and finally gets himself back on topic after talking at the camera for like probably 45 minutes, I imagine.
Yeah, which is fine. But, I guess, because the way we do it is just the opposite, so,
Because he openly admitted that he has a bunch of footage, and he's just like, forgets what he's even saying sometimes, and that's fine, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we gotta crank up the level here, and like, it's embarrassing. We're embarrassing existence itself, the entire concept of evolution with how lame everyone's gotten. That's all I'm saying. So when you just step up to the plate, and when you hit it out of the field,
Like, it's let me jack my dick up until it's the size of a baseball bat, and then I'll hit that home run right out of the park.
Every 3D animation now ever, because everyone's just extreme.
Yeah, they're like the tits are the size of like, entire houses, the dicks are the size of bullet trains coming out of Japan.
Yeah.
I just said Japan because I could have said Germany, but everybody's so fucking obsessed apparently, no matter what, with Japan.
Yeah.
I could have said Finnish bullet trains because Finland has bullet trains.
I guess the future is just everybody's just gonna survive by sucking on their own dicks with how big they are, and that's just...
That's the way people apparently want it.
Yeah.
I can stitch off of my own comb. And then everybody's like, that's great, now I don't ever have to be around you.
Yeah, that's a little primitive, I think. I think we're getting off topic, I don't know. Or are we? I don't know how I'm on topic, but I feel like I am.
Here's my concept for you, Eamon. What if we've been sitting here doing exactly what everybody else always does when it comes to podcasts and all that sort of related stuff, and yet right now, at this exact very moment, because you're not in frame, only I'm doing it, but now you're in frame, everybody still doesn't think that either of us are actually doing a podcast. Like as if they're somehow so retarded. Yeah. They actually think that me talking to you right now across a table, sitting at two chairs, is not a podcast. Even though everybody else...
Yeah, well, think about it. You see, the podcast, the word, is completely wrapped up in this concept of so many levels of brain damage. Like, they have their shirt off. That's not a podcast.
Oh, you want me to put my shirt on? Alright, 1 second.
No, it's just, what? I don't know. What is the other examples? We talk about issues as though they can be randomly as disconnected or as connected as we want, rather than having like some sort of bulletin list that then everyone avoids anyways. But then they're like
bulleting out what they're saying all the time. So yeah, podcasts suck. That's all I've got to say. And so maybe we're just doing like, I don't know, podcasts or something. Gotta come up with a new name for it.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker. This is about how bad it is. Okay. All right. Now is it a podcast? Like, you see, that's my point is...
Yeah, like, what if we start doing, like, random voices? Like, let me come up with, oh, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll randomly generate some new voices. It fucking generates some new voices. Let's try to invent a new accent. Okay, here I go. I don't like cat very much, and I would like to appreciate the fact that you wouldn't do that anymore.
I agree with you entirely, good sir, but unfortunately, my dick is falling off.
Yeah.
Because that's all accents are. It's just some part of your body horribly out of sync with the rest of it.
Yeah, it's almost like if you can sing and you can voice act, then you can mimic somebody's very errors and become them. Yeah. Wow, imagine that you had a purple mustache. Okay.